We're here because the Board of Supervisors wants to possibly move to make Loudoun County, the Sheriff's Office, the enforcement part of it, a police department, when there's really no reason to do that. And that would take the citizens' ability to take away their authority to elect their top cop and put it in the hands of a Board of Supervisors, which then makes it a political entity. It's for power. I mean, what they don't like here is a sheriff that independently answers to the public rather than to the Board of Supervisors, and it actually inhibits their control over what I do or don't do. And fact is that I answer directly to the citizens, and they don't like that. They want me to answer to them.
We're here to support Sheriff Mike Chapman and the Sheriff's Department. They have the lowest crime rate in the metropolitan area. A lot of their members are members of my Fraternal Order of Police Lodge, as I said, including Mike Chapman, and we're here to support them and what they believe in and their job that they're doing. They're doing an outstanding job.
I've been elected now for the third time. This is my third term. The numbers have always been exceptionally good in the election. People like what we're doing. We have a 90% approval rating. We got the lowest crime rate in the Washington, D.C. area. It's gone down 32% since I've been sheriff, the major crimes. So things are going extremely well. So there really is no reason for them to make a move on such a successful organization unless they want to take control over it. So why would they do that? They want to take the power away from the people and put it in the hands of a few so that they can control what we do. And that's really what this boils down to.
Yeah, if you're going to take out a sheriff and replace it with a local police force, you shouldn't pick the guy that is, doing an excellent job like Mike. He's certainly nothing like low-hanging fruit. He's just got an outstanding record. Some people in this world have a lot of common sense, and they realize that in a time when there's so much instability, especially related to politicians, government leaders, and some of them making actually decisions to not utilize police forces, it couldn't be a more obvious demonstration of what happens when you politicize law enforcement.
The deputies, as I know also, have gotten Deputy of the Year awards from the Commonwealth of Virginia, 5 in the last 5 years, which is a great thing to do. He also has one of the best SRO programs, that's school resource officer programs in the nation. It's a great honor that we have somebody in law enforcement that's so outstanding and does such a great job as Mike does.
Chairman Randall has had a long-running history of being against the sheriff's office, in particularly Sheriff Chapman. And she tries to play it off like it isn't, but her own words indicate that it is. And I don't think that should be the motive for taking away funds and resources from a sheriff's office that isn't a problem and shifting it into a police department that she has control over. I think that they are going to actually pass a resolution to go ahead with a study because of the way that item number 5 was reframed over the last couple of days, and it became an or. I believe it was an opportunity for them to try to show that they're compromising, but it was a really sneaky, underhanded way to go about taking input from the citizenry and still trying to shove through her agenda.
A study is something you use to either kill a bad idea or to breathe life into it. And clearly what she wants to do here is breathe life into it. Find somebody who will come up with some facts and data. And, facts and data are funny. You can kind of make them say whatever you want. And she'll use it to justify this effort. And but I think, public opposition is going to overwhelm her study. I think she's backpedaling. Clearly, that's a good sign.
My question for Supervisor Randall or Chairperson Randall would be, what are you going to do once you create your police force? Are you then going to divert the funds somewhere else that the community didn't necessarily have the option to vote on that? And then the other question I would have for Chairwoman Randall is whether or not she knows the person who's going to be commissioned to receive the funds from the study that she wants to do. I think that that's a really good question.
That there isn't an effort at a higher level that wants to destabilize our government, our country overall. And that certainly seems to be the case in Virginia. Letting violent felons out of jail early, destabilizing police forces, you name it, just letting protesters run wild and riot. almost unchecked in some cases.
I'm here today. We put this on with the sheriff because we believe that we want to support our police, we want to support our sheriff, and that's not being done right now. So there's a lot to be changed and done here in Loudoun County, and we want to help. So my sister's in law enforcement. My dad was a retired DC police, and my grandfather was a state trooper. And when David Dorn died and all the things that are happening, I just decided that I didn't want to let the police have the stigma that they have. And so I got together some girlfriends and we marched up 7th Street in DC, and the rest is history. I am actually in Prince William County, so I'm not from here, but I've heard nothing but awesome things. And obviously from what you can see today, he's got a lot of support. This is a grassroots organization and we need all the help we can get to move this across the country. And if you think it doesn't make a difference, that's not the truth. We did one in Texas a couple weeks ago, and there were bike police out. And they said all week we've had bleach thrown on us, urine thrown on us, spit on. He said when your group came out and did an event, it raised the morale 100% for these guys. So that's just the little things that we can do to help them out.
My priorities are not power. They are not politics. They are not telling other people what to do. So when you see that number of people showing up, you need to question what you're doing. And so that's a very interesting component to what we've seen at our We Back Blue rallies. We have lots of people showing up because they want to participate and they want to be vocal and they want to be heard. And so the county residents definitely respect and appreciate Sheriff Chapman. They definitely appreciate the officers. But more than that, it's really people want to have a voice, and they're tired of being told that they're horrible human beings if they don't agree with a particular ideology. They're ready to say, check on that. That's not what I think. That's not who I am. And let me present to you what I do think and who I am. And let's have that conversation instead of the constant negative narrative that we're hearing all the time.
The fact is that this is really power to the people. This is power to the citizens of Loudoun, and this is what it should all be about. This should be about you having the power to select, not allowing that to a handful of people or one person to select who their chief is.
And so I was down at Prince William County McCourt Building last week, and that was quite a day for the officers down there. And so after our event down there, I asked, what is it that we could do to show you support? And the officer there said, exactly what you're doing, because I don't have a voice. I can't speak up. I'm not allowed to right now, but I see you guys out there and I feel like I have a voice. I think we're at a pivotal point. I think that right now it's time to be courageous. It's time to be bold. I am not an activist. I'm a mom. But I just feel compelled to say, deter, don't defer. It's time to be courageous and bold, and you have something to say, so say it.
So it's important. It's important for everybody to get engaged. It's these kinds of gatherings, it's this kind of a support that makes a difference. And I'm just so overwhelmed by the support that we had out here. Can't tell you how grateful I am to see so many citizens behind this effort and to try to make sure that you preserve your right to elect your top cop.